We are going to talk still basics of digestion. We are not going to discuss anything complicated, just the basics that anyone can know in order to help themselves. So we'll talk about the types of digestion. There are basically two: mechanical and then chemical. This is pretty obvious. Mechanical, so we are going to go down these 7 organs. You can notice that I've added the esophagus and liver and pancreas. There's also the gallbladder, but there's no need to discuss that since we are not going to so much detail. It's just basic. So mechanical and chemical method. So we are going to go down this way to discuss where mechanical digestion happens and where chemical digestion happens. So it's obvious that the mechanical digestion happens here in the mouth, right? So here what will happen is mechanical. And how does it happen? Through chewing. Okay, many things have been said about chewing, but it is good we just talk a little about it here. So chewing food properly and several times in the mouth, I'm not going to talk about the number, is important for digestion. So things like meat, which take long to be digested, you know, they stay in the system for like 3-4 hours. The first place that they're digested, I think there is an enzyme called lipase in the mouth, which breaks down the lipids. The lipids are what? Fats, and which are found in the proteins and the fats that we eat. So that enzyme is found in the mouth. So it's good to chew the meats, the chicken, the pork, the eggs slowly and surely, making sure we have crushed the food and softened it a lot in the mouth. And then now before we swallow and let it go down. So especially things like proteins, we need to give them time in the mouth. The carbohydrates also are digested in the mouth. And that's why you have all the sweet nerves, the nerves that taste sweetness are all along the tongue. And that's why people tend to get addicted to sugar, because the tongue has been trained, or we train it through what we eat, to enjoy sugar. When food is not sweet, we tend not to want it, or we are very attracted to very sweet things. So all that we train ourselves to acquire that taste, and that prison is in the tongue. The prison for arresting us that lock that puts us in the prison of sugar is in the tongue. So, but then the tongue can be trained to enjoy other tastes. So sugar is also digested in the mouth. So it's good to chew the carbohydrates properly before they go down. But sometimes the carbohydrates and the starches that we eat, there's even nothing to chew because they've already been so processed. You can think of all the sodas, fizzy drinks, the sweets, and all the snacks that are in packets. They are so easy to chew and swallow, yeah? So, okay, so then we can actually finish the digestive process of those processed things in the mouth. That means very little travels to the esophagus and very little reaches the stomach. Now that's when you start having this problem. Because the stomach has felt there is food that is coming from the mouth. So it starts producing the acid. But those crisps or those biscuits that we've eaten do not make their way down to the mouth. They disappear very fast down to the stomach. And when they reach the stomach, the acid finishes everything and it remains there in excess. So of course the outcome is what? Acidity. We eat things like bread, which are very light. The digestive process finishes here, and what is the result? The acid that was produced has no work, so it becomes excess and it travels upwards. So chew well. Then the other thing about then you go down to the esophagus. Here there is movement. Yeah, movement. So your muscles need to be active. Upper body muscles need to be active. That's why if you go to a gym or you know somebody who is a trainer, they always talk about building upper body strength. Yeah, upper body strength should be, because also it affects this digestive system. So here we need to have strong muscles that are able to push the food down. Okay, so if you have eaten something with fiber, the food may movement, it may make it straight to the stomach, and here definitely we have already said there is a lot of acid production, and so chemical digestion takes place. Then the food, if it is real food, it will also be separated. Some separation will take place. If you have a lot of fiber, it will go straight down to the small intestines. If what you have eaten has a lot of fructose, lactose, glucose, all the OCs make their way from the stomach to the liver. So you don't want to give the liver work that is not. These organs here are supposed to be purifying. So they also purify what is excess in the form of the oxys, fructose, lactose, glucose goes to the liver. So if you give it excess work in terms of those acids, you start getting fatty liver disease. So we need to eat those oxys in a limited quantity. You want to eat a lot of fiber so the food can be pushed down to the small intestine. When food reaches the small intestine, that means you're not producing excess acid, because the acid has work. It's getting work and it's pushing, it has broken down the food, made it less solid, and it has managed to travel also in a semi-solid form to the small intestine. So that means you have eaten real food. So the small intestine will also have chemical digestion. So there are enzymes that are produced here, and already some nutrients are being absorbed. The same thing in the mouth, and in the stomach, not really so much, but this place, the nutrients are being absorbed. So when you eat the snacks, and that the absorption is supposed to be taking place here of the nutrients, it means you've eaten nothing. You've not eaten food, you just entertained the tongue and filled the stomach, but not with food, with just some items. Then the food goes down again. Here there's chemical digestion and also some movement. The food must travel further, and then it reaches the large intestine, which is the second last place. Here, what is useful is separated from what is extra, then it exits through here. So the food will make its way here if it has fiber, if it is whole, if it is natural. Let me write it well. Fibrous, whole, natural. If these don't coincide, it is very difficult for food to get here. It will stop here or stop here. And that will be a real pity, because you have eaten for nothing. And then you start to grow horizontally. And then if everything goes well, it exits through here. So there are other things that are necessary in order to achieve this. And if you have this full process, you will never have this problem. People with this problem, you'll find they do not have number two, the stool. They are not able to have the full bowel movement every day. Maybe they go every 3 days, but adults should go at least once a day. So if you're not going once a day, there is something that is being interrupted here because of the quality of food. So next we shall speak about diet.